Hello everyone, this is Marissa from Design by Geeks, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make these English-Spanish vocabulary flashcards. This is a print and cut product from Design Bundles. They come in a few different sets, so I'll put links for where you can get these in the video description. These are great if you're an English speaker trying to learn Spanish vocabulary, or if you're a Spanish speaker wanting to learn words in English. I'm going to be showing you how to make these using your Silhouette machine and the Silhouette Studio software. If you have a Cricut machine, the instructions are a little bit different, so I'll put a link to that video in the cards for you. Let's get started. You'll begin by opening up your Silhouette Studio software, and then you want to open up the PNG file that contains the artwork. So you can go to File, Open, and then navigate to where the PNG file is in the folder. Next, you want to open up the Trace panel. The Trace panel is one of the panels at the right, and it's the fifth icon down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't really know what that icon is supposed to be. It kind of reminds me of a cross between a butterfly and a loaf of bread, but that's the Trace panel right there. Once you have the Trace panel open, you're going to click Select Trace Area, and then you want to draw, using your mouse, click and drag an outline around the entire artwork. You want to make sure that you're capturing the outlines of the cards as well, which are white, and they might be a little bit hard to see, so make your outline nice and big so that everything is inside of that area. From the Trace panel, you're then going to change the threshold setting to 100, and you can leave despeckle and high pass at 0 and scale at 10. Next, you want to choose, under Trace Style, you want to go ahead and choose Trace. This is going to create cut lines around the border of each card. If you can see, there's a thin red outline around each card. That means that's where it's going to be cutting. Next, you want to go to the top menu, and you want to go from Edit, and then click Select All. With everything selected, right-click, and then choose Group. Next, you're going to open the Page Setup panel. This is again one of the tools at the right, and it's the very top tool, and it looks like a piece of paper. From the Page Setup panel, change your page size to match your paper size and orientation. So I have it here as letter 8.5 by 11, which is the correct size, and I have it in landscape orientation, which is correct. If I wanted to do it in portrait mode, I could. I would just change it like that, but then I would also need to rotate the artwork. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it as landscape. From the Page Setup panel, you're next going to click Registration Mark. So up at the top, there are 3 icons. Registration Mark is the one at the far right. So you're going to click that. And next, under Style, you're going to change it to your machine. You're now going to see some marks added to the page. There are some corner lines and a black square over here. Grab the artwork, and you just want to drag it so that everything is within these boundaries of these registration marks. You want to make sure that none of these black marks overlap any of the card outlines, because that will print onto the cards, so you don't want any extra stuff printing onto the cards. So once that's moved within the cutting area, you then want to go ahead and print. So load your paper with the paper that you want to use. We recommend using white cardstock. And then you're going to go to the File menu at the top and choose Print. Next, you're going to select the printer that you want to use, and then click Print. That's now going to print on my printer, including any artwork that's within the white area and the black registration marks. Next, with the artwork still selected, go to Send at the upper right. You want to set your material type and then make sure that the action is set to Cut. Right now it says Score. I want to change that to Cut. And instead of No Cut, I want to make sure that it's as Cut. And you're going to notice those red lines got a little bit darker because now you're telling the machine that you want to cut all of those lines. I'm also going to change my material type since I am not cutting glitter paper. I'm just cutting plain cardstock. And then if you wanted to change any of your cutting settings, you could. Next, you're going to take your printed paper and you're going to place it onto your cutting mat, aligning it the same way as it appears on your screen. So if you see, here is what the cutting mat looks like, and you notice that the piece of paper should be aligned to the top left and in landscape fashion. So I'm going to place my printed page onto my cutting mat exactly as shown. You're then going to load your cutting mat into your machine, and once that's loaded, you can go down here and click Send. Your machine is then going to scan those registration marks, and once it has detected all three, it will start cutting out your design. Now, sometimes your machine might have issues being able to scan the registration marks automatically. So if that happens, you can scan them manually. You just use the arrows on your machine itself to move the blade so that the blade is directly over the square up here in the corner. So you use your arrows on the machine itself until the blade is positioned over this, and then you can ask it to detect the marks manually. And it should detect that if you started out in the right place. That's only if it's not able to automatically detect the marks. After your cutting is complete, then you just unload your mat and remove the cards. And if this particular set of cards includes more than one PNG file, you just repeat that process for all of the cards in the set. Thank you for watching and happy crafting. Bye! We hope you liked this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.